Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today we are taking a look at Team Liquid's Ret and how he's been playing in Heart of the Swarm, and we've looked at a ZVP, we've looked at a ZVT, and now we're checking out a ZVZ. So I'm going to be opting to watch this game between LiquidRet and Slivko. So spawning in the bottom left position as the red Zerg player, we have Ret. That I almost forgot his name for a second. I was like, wait, who's this guy again? I had to look up at the top, and I was like, oh god, my brain is not functioning. It's actually 3 a.m. right now, so it's actually kind of late, and I'm kind of really tired, but it's okay. I really wanted to get some games out because I didn't cast any other games today. I casted no games to be posted today because it was a holiday, and I ended up just like playing League of Legends with a couple of friends last night till really late. So I ended up not being able to cast any games, so I decided today better get some games up on that YouTube channel, and I'm also looking to do another 2-minute tutorial this coming weekend, so be looking out for that as well. So spawning as his opponent here as the blue Zerg in the top right position of Neoplanet S, we have Slivko. Slivko, for those of you who don't know him, is a Russian Zerg player who did pretty well in Wings of Liberty. He played in a lot of online tournaments. Europe has a lot of online tournaments that they frequently play in, a lot of the pros play in, and usually they're really good ones. I don't know if most of them still exist. I don't see the replay packs coming out from them as much, so I don't know if they still exist because I never really played in them too much, but a lot of people do. I played in a couple in my time, but not that many. Slivko did pretty well. I think his biggest thing that he did in Wings of Liberty was he got 3rd or 4th place in an IEM once, and I think that was his highest finish. But he's still a very good player. Very good player. I haven't seen him much in Heart of the Swarm yet, so I'm actually going to be checking out his style just as much as I'm going to be checking out LiquidRet's today. Both players opting to go for a fairly fast hatchery here. Hatch before pool for both of these players. Ret actually opting to go for hatch, gas, pool. Slivko opting to go for hatch into pool into gas here. So Ret's going to be able to get out a little bit of a faster Zergling speed, but Slivko's going to be able to get out a little bit faster Zerglings and faster queens. So we're going to have to see how those play out here. A lot of the early game for ZVZ is pretty much identical to how it was in Wings of Liberty. Still mostly a lot of bling battles in the early game, and there are basically 2 options that people tend to go for in the mid game. For a long time, it was really popular to go into Mutalisks again. Mutalisks became very popular for a little while because in Heart of the Swarm, they increased the regeneration rate of Mutalisks. So Mutalisks would regenerate a lot faster, so they became pretty strong. But then they added the buff to Spore Crawlers. So ever since they buffed Spore Crawlers, it kind of made it a little bit more difficult to go for it. A lot of players were still going a lot of mutas, and you're still seeing a lot of mutas out there, but players are slowly starting to learn how to defend against Mutalisk and just end up with stronger Roach, either Roach Infestor army or Roach Hydra Infestor armies. So that's kind of been the way this matchup has been going lately. It's kind of been tending back towards Roach Infestor and Roach Infestor Hydra. Most players have been going for one of those kind of mixes. And I think that's probably most likely what both these players are going to be going into here, as it looks like both players are kind of showing each other a little bit of respect here and just kind of sitting back, droning up. Both players have vision. If we check out the vision of Slivko right now, you can see that he's monitoring both of the possible directions that Ret could be going out of, and Ret is also doing the same thing on the other side of the map. This is definitely something you want to do in ZVZ. You want to be watching both of these paths because those are the major attack paths early on in the game. Now, Ret throwing down a Spine Crawler, nothing too crazy here. Most players will do this just to be extra safe. You want to be safe. It's nice to have a Spine Crawler at the front because it really helps against Baneling pushes. You can use the Spine Crawlers to focus down the Banelings, and it's just super helpful in those early bling engagements. And now Baneling Nest coming up for both players. Looks like both players actually absolutely identical up till now. Both players finishing Baneling Nests. Very little variation in both these players, but looks like Lair is now being started for both these players at the exact same time here. Some Ling's getting up into the base here for Ret, so he's getting some scouting information information here, but now both players, look at this, absolutely identical. Both players taking their lair at the same time, and then once their lair goes down, instantly taking the other 3 gases, and then just continuing to drone up a little bit. Now Slivko's actually a little bit ahead in the food count, and supplies are... well, worker supply is even, so it looks like that's all going to be tied up in, yeah, like Slivko's got 11 lings on the field, and I'm actually surprised that that doesn't translate to more workers for Rhett, but I guess Rhett lost a little bit to the scouting that he did there. Now some lings are coming across the field here. They might be able to do some damage. Rhett positioning both of his queens on that high ground with this spine here. They're not going to be able to get up into the main, but it looks like they're going to be able to get back here and pick off a few drones there. Not too many, just 1 drone picked off there, but he didn't lose too much. He only lost 1 or 2 lings there, so definitely a worthwhile trade for him. Lair finishing up now for both these players. Now what kind of tech will they go for at Lair? This is the important thing that we want to see. And Spire, both players actually opting to go for the Spire despite having the Spore Crawler buff. So yeah, it looks like both these players are going to be opting to go for that. Taking a 3rd base, Slivko going for his 3rd base. Looks like Rhett's going to be looking to take his 3rd base as well. 1 drone going up into this 3rd. Interesting 3rd locations for both of these players, because notice that Slivko's taking his 3rd here, and does Rhett know about it? Does Rhett know that this 3rd is going down? He must have seen the drone going down there, so he must know that that's going on down there. But with this 3rd going down here and this 3rd going down here, both players are in really, really close proximity here, and oh, Rhett needs to be really careful with these Banelings. He doesn't want to lose these Banelings right now, because those are, oh, Rhett, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, man? You don't want to be losing your Banelings to just random single Zerglings there. You want to be hitting both, and you want to be hitting packs of Zerglings rather. Now where's the Spire from Rhett? Rhett's Spire, both of players have their Spires going right now. Both players going to be finishing at about the same time. Rhett's got a little bit more on the gas right now. Looks like about he's going to have 1 more Mutalisk over his opponent. Now it looks like Rhett's going to be going for a little bit of aggression here as he's moving in with some lings here, going to be able to pick off a drone there, but some lings now coming down of Slivko's to be able to defend that, and more drones coming down as well. And now Rhett's just going to be able to pull back right now. Food supply pretty much dead even right now, 75 to each. Both players getting up as many Mutalisks as they can. 3rd base is being established for both players. Spine being now moved forward here from LiquidRet. No spores going down, interestingly enough. And that's mostly because both players are going for Mutalisks. Both players, does Rhett actually know that his opponent's going for Mutalisks? Rhett actually is doing this blind. Rhett doesn't. Rhett actually, up till now, I prefer the way Slivko is playing. Slivko has been very, very good about his scouting. He's been really, really good about just being a little bit aggressive. He's been a little bit ahead in worker supply this entire game, so I really like the way Slivko's been playing out this game. Rhett's a little bit ahead in the Muta count right now. If we check out the unit counting station, we can see that he's at 10-10, but wow, no, Slivko actually managed to get up 1 Mutalisk over his opponent too. +1 Carapace coming down here for both players. So yeah, both players, knowing that they're going up against Mutalisks, they're going for that Carapace. Now, the reason you get the Carapace is, of course, if you're going in a Mutalisk battle, you want to reduce the damage of the Glaive Worm bounces as much as possible. These Mutalisk bounces, the +1 armor will mean that each Glaive Worm reduces the damage of each Glaive Worm bounce by 1. So that ends up being a bigger advantage than if you get a +1 upgrade, because the +1 upgrade will actually not give you +1 attack to each bounce. It's based on a percentage, the damage of the bounces, because each bounce does a percentage less amount. God, I can't say that at all. Each bounce does a percentage of the original amount of damage, so it ends up not, you end up not getting as much of an advantage here. Wow, actually both players actually going for the engagement here, and I don't like this that Red is doing this right now. His opponent is up in the count. He's got 1 queen here to try to help out, but looks like Slivko is actually going to be able to push through this, and with the reinforcements from Red, he's just barely going to be squeezing out of that fight, but Red is not in the good position here. If we check out the unit counting station, yeah, Slivko's up 10 Mutalisks to 6, and that's a big deal, but oh my god, there was a big run of Lings into the main, and it looks like he's going to start to focus down that Spire, not going to be able to get it. +1 flyer attacks now going down there, and wow, Red's actually going to be able to clean up those Zerglings and continue to deal some damage here. If we check out the Harvester count right now, both players dead even at 62 Harvesters, 63 Harvesters, so they are pretty much dead even, but there are some gas losses being going down here for Slivko, and so that's going to make a big deal. That's going to end up making quite a big deal for Rhett. Anytime that you can deny of gas from your opponent, any gas mining time that you can deny is amazing. Will end up getting you miles and miles and miles ahead. I mean, like, if you think about it, 1 minute of denying an extractor means 1 minute of your opponent, one less Mutalisk for your opponent. That means you're going to get one more, oh god, you're going to get one more Mutalisk over your opponent. In the meantime, these Lings are going back up into the main. In the meantime, there is some Mutalisks down here that are, they're fighting with a Spore. They're fighting in the range of the Spore. That's absolutely terrible for LiquidRet, and that is so not good, but LiquidRet is, in the meantime, going to be able to pick off this Spire. Will he get it? Yes, the Spire does go down, so that is going to be a little bit of a deal here for LiquidRet, because he's now down in the Mute account, but he can now make Mutalisk that his opponent can't make, so he's going to be able to get ahead here. He's got 5 Mutalisks on the way. His opponent doesn't have any, but his opponent's going to go for a big attack here as he's getting a whole lot of Zerglings, a lot of Banelings now morphing in here for Slivko. No upgrades at all on the Zerglings here. Rhett also has no upgrades here, so that's going to be dead even there. And Slivko basically has to do damage right now because his opponent's just going to be getting ahead in the Mutalisk count right now. Here he comes. He is coming in here for the attack. There are a good number of Lings and Banelings out here. This is a freaking mess here. Can I get a better angle on this at all? Yeah, there we go. There's a little bit of a better angle there. Oh, Baneling's going in trying to connect with the Spore Crawler there, and Rhett is just barely going to come out on top in that engagement there, and it looks like he is going to be able to win and push that back. And now this has been such a crazy back and forth game. Those Spores definitely are what allowed Rhett to come out on top of that engagement, because those Spores do so much damage to Mutalisks. Now I believe those Spores 3-shot versus biological, they deal 45 damage, so against a Mutalisk, which has 120, yeah, they should 3-shot, right? 3-shot, 45, yeah, 3-shot, definitely 3-shot a Mutalisk, no matter whether they have upgrades or not on the Carapace. Oh, looks like there's going to be a big Ling counterattack going here as all these Mutalisks are moving in here, getting to pick off a lot of Overlords here, but does Red have anything in position to be able to stop this? Looks like the answer is going to be no. He's going to pull back some Lings to be able to deal with it, but Slivko splitting up some of his Lings, some into the natural, some are going into the main. Looks like he's going to be able to pick off a Queen here, and it looks like he's going to win the fight in the natural as well. So now Rhett's being forced to pull back with all of his mutas here. Worker count now is currently 61 to 61, dead even on that worker count. These Lings in the main are still doing damage here though for Slivko, so he was able to pick off quite a few workers here. Total 24 workers killed here for LiquidRet, 17 for Slivko. This has just been a brutal back and forth match here, but the Spire has now gone down again, once again for Slivko, and this is interesting now. Rhett is actually opting to go for transitions here, and this is kind of crazy here from LiquidRet. I don't know about this. This is going to be tricky here from LiquidRet. Here's what he needs to do. He needs to be super aggressive with these Mutalisks so that his opponent's Mutalisks doesn't have time to realize that his opponent's going for a tech switch. Slivko needs to think that he's still just continuing this Mutalisk fight, right? This is what Rhett wants his opponent to believe. Yeah, see that he's still getting the +1 flyer attacks right now. He's just continuing to get more and more mutas out on the field, and Rhett's about to have infestors, and so those can make a huge difference. If his infestors are able to get big fungal growths off, then he's going to be in a fantastic spot. But his Mutalisk count is going to be down right now because his opponent's just still getting up lots and lots of Mutalisks. Look at this Mutalisk cloud getting really, really scary. He's up to 23 Mutalisks to the 13 Mutalisks of LiquidRet, so he's going to be in a good spot in terms of Mutalisk numbers. But if Rhett can get off good fungals on this army, he's going to be in a good spot. He's going to be able to just completely shut this down, actually. I mean, if you can get good fungals off, it's pretty much just a straight-up victory no matter how many Mutalisks you've got. The problem with Mutalisks is that they clump really, really, really hard. You can see right there, boom, they clump really hard, and you get a fungal on that right there. So much damage, you can't even believe. It's amazing to me that also neither of these players has been gone for a 4th base at all. Both these players really, really scared to expand right now. Rhett is about to need to use those Mutalisks, about to use those infestors rather, as these Mutalisks are going to be really, really strong. Look at this. He's even transitioning into Hydras. This is a really, really scary time here for LiquidRet, where he's transitioning, right? So he's going to be weak in the Mutalisk count for a while. He's transitioning, and as he transitions, his Mutalisk counts are going to be below his opponent, and so that's when his opponent's going to have have an advantage. So he needs to be able to survive, needs to be really, really safe there. And it looks like he's actually going to be able to push through here, but this big Mutalisk Cloud from SLivko going to be able to come in here, and Brett's playing this out exactly like he should be. He's playing this out by keeping pressure on his opponent, making sure that his opponent doesn't ever get a chance to get too aggressive here, but at this point SLivko is now seeing the Mutalisk kind of his opponent is going to be going, I don't think you've got a whole lot here, but now all the infestors coming down here, fungal growths going down, hitting giant fungal growths all over those units from SLivko. It looks like he's going to be able to pick off all the rest of these Mutalisks, but he's about to lose every single one of his Mutalisks in return, as the Hydralisks are now coming in here, going to be cleaning up every single one of those Mutalisks, and SLivko has nothing to fall back on. SLivko's just now starting to get his infestor production going here, and he's just not going to be able to do anything against that. The Hydralisks are already out here for Rhett, and Rhett, with the transition staying a step ahead of his opponent, is going to be able to take the game absolutely fantastically. I can't talk anymore, you guys. I can't talk anymore. I'm tired, and I just casted 3 20-minute games in a row, and I'm done. I can't do any more. Where's my GG button? I'm somewhere. Oh my god, my GG button, it's gone. I'm trying to find my, I'm frantically searching for my GG button. Oh, there it is. It's way behind my monitor. Oh god, now I'm dropping it. So there we go. Now I get to do my outro. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe and the like button down below. Let me know what you've been thinking about my casting style lately. Let me know what I can do to improve these casts, because I'm really looking to improve these casts. Lately, I've been trying to go for a much more casual style of casting, just because I think it's a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting to just be a little bit more casual and a little bit less professional. So that's the kind of style I've been going for. Thanks so much for watching, and that's going to do it for me, guys. Glitch out.